Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share with you a truth that most people ignore, a truth that separates the people who live ordinary lives from those who create extraordinary results. And it's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even education. What it comes down to is one simple principle. The decisions you make today and the actions you take consistently shape your life. And that is why I want to introduce you to something powerful, something that can change your trajectory completely. The 21 Days Success Plan. You see, 21 days is all it takes to start rewiring your brain, retraining your habits, and igniting the momentum that can take you from where you are today to where you want to be. Now, some of you might be skeptical. You might be thinking, 21 days? Can something that short really change my life? The answer is yes, if you commit fully. Let me tell you this, massive transformation doesn't come from small, scattered actions. It comes from focused, deliberate, consistent action. Day 1 to day 7, mindset reset. The first 7 days are about resetting your mindset. Most people fail in life because their mind is set on limitation, fear, and excuses. If you want success, you must first condition your mind to believe it is possible. For the next 7 days, every morning when you wake up, tell yourself, I am capable, I am unstoppable, I control my life. Repeat it with emotion, repeat it with belief. Your words are powerful. They shape your reality more than you think. During these 7 days, also take stock of your life. Write down everything that's holding you back. Be brutally honest. It might be your job, your habits, your relationships, or even your self-doubt. Now here's the key. Don't just write them down, write how you are going to eliminate or improve them. Action without clarity is wasted energy. Day 8 to day 14. Habit building. The next 7 days are about creating habits that stick. Listen carefully. Your success is not an accident. It's the result of repeated daily actions. If you want to transform your life, you must transform your habits. Pick 1 or 2 areas in your life where improvement will have the biggest impact. It could be your health, your finances, your relationships, or your productivity. Then create small, actionable steps you can take daily. For example, if your goal is health, commit to exercising 20 minutes a day. If your goal is wealth, commit to reading or listening to 30 minutes of financial education every day. Don't overwhelm yourself. Focus. Consistency beats intensity every time. Here's the secret. Your brain doesn't change overnight. It needs repetition. By repeating the same positive action every day for 7 days, you're building momentum. Momentum is magic. It compounds and eventually it becomes unstoppable. Why 21 days? You might ask, why 21 days? Because neuroscience proves that it takes 21 days to form a new habit, to create a new belief, to shift your mental programming. In just 3 weeks, your brain begins to accept these actions as your new default. And when your default changes, your results change. This is not magic. This is biology. And the best part, you don't need to wait for the perfect time, the perfect situation, or the perfect resources. All you need is commitment and action and belief. The power of consistency. Success is not about motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting. Success is about consistency. It's about showing up day after day, doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. These 21 days are just the beginning. They are the spark that lights a fire. And here's the truth. Anyone can do this. The question is, will you? Will you commit to 21 days of intense focus, deliberate action, and unstoppable belief? Or will you keep letting life happen to you while you watch others succeed? Your life is not defined by what has happened in the past. It's defined by what you do today. The decisions you make now, the actions you take, and the beliefs you adopt determine the next chapter of your life. So I challenge you, start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Take this 21 days success plan and commit to it fully. Write your goals down, reset your mindset, build new habits, take massive action. Watch as your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. By the end of these 21 days, you will not be the same person you are today. You will be stronger, sharper, more focused, and unstoppable. And when you see what you are capable of in just 3 weeks, you will realize that nothing can stop you when you decide to take control of your life. Remember, the difference between those who dream and those who achieve is action. The difference between those who live mediocre lives and those who live extraordinary lives is consistency. And the difference between success and failure is how badly you want it. Take these 21 days seriously. Commit fully. Transform your mind, transform your habits, transform your actions, and watch as the life you've always dreamed of unfolds before you. Your future starts now. Your success starts today. And your transformation is waiting for you to claim it. 21 days. Total focus. Massive action. Unstoppable results. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you do. It is the lens through which you see the world, the filter through which you interpret events, and the engine that drives your actions. If your mindset is limiting, if it is clouded with fear, doubt, or uncertainty, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, how many opportunities are in front of you, or how much effort you put in, your results will always fall short of what you are truly capable of. Resetting your mindset is not a luxury, it is a necessity if you want to create extraordinary results in your life. Most people go through life reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. They allow negative experiences, failures, and setbacks to define who they are and what they can achieve. They let past mistakes dictate their present choices and their future possibilities. But here's the truth. Your past is not a prophecy. It does not determine your future. The only thing that determines your future is what you choose to believe and the actions you take based on those beliefs. Your mind can either be your prison or your greatest source of power, and the choice is entirely yours. The first step to resetting your mindset is becoming aware of the thoughts that run through your head on a daily basis. Many people are not aware of the inner dialogue that shapes their perception of themselves and the world around them. They accept negative thoughts as facts. They let fear dictate their choices, and they believe limitations that exist only in their imagination. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. Start by observing your thoughts without judgment. Notice when you tell yourself you're not good enough, when you doubt your ability to succeed, or when you feel overwhelmed by obstacles. Every time you catch a negative thought, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Does it serve the person I want to become? Once you become aware of these limiting beliefs, it's time to actively replace them with empowering ones. Your brain cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you repeatedly feed your mind with positive, empowering statements, your subconscious begins to accept them as reality. This is why affirmations, visualization, and intentional self-talk are so powerful. Each morning, begin by telling yourself, I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. I am strong, resilient, and unstoppable. I control my choices, and I create my results. Say these words with emotion, with belief, and with conviction. Let them sink into every cell of your body. The more you repeat them, the more your mind begins to align with this new reality. Resetting your mindset also requires taking full responsibility for your life. Many people live in a victim mentality, blaming external circumstances, other people, or fate for their struggles and failures. But when you take full responsibility, you reclaim your power. You understand that you may not control every situation, but you control how you respond. Your decisions, your actions, and your commitment to growth are what ultimately determine your results. Responsibility is not a burden, it is the key to freedom. When you stop blaming and start owning, you stop being reactive and become proactive. You start shaping your life instead of letting life shape you. Another critical component of resetting your mindset is embracing failure as a tool for growth rather than a reason to quit. Too many people fear failure, and because of that fear, they never take meaningful action. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Each setback, each mistake, each rejection contains invaluable lessons that guide you toward mastery. Shift your perspective so that failure becomes feedback, not defeat. Ask yourself after every challenge, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? How can I use this experience to get closer to my goal? When you adopt this mindset, obstacles stop being barriers and start being opportunities. Your environment also plays a massive role in shaping your mindset. You are influenced by the people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the energy you allow into your life. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and mediocrity, your mind will mirror that energy. On the other hand, if you immerse yourself in positivity, growth, and excellence, your mind will adapt to those standards. Seek out mentors, role models, and communities that challenge you to think bigger, act bolder, and dream larger. Read books that expand your understanding of what is possible. Listen to stories of people who overcame incredible odds. Fill your mind with inspiration until it becomes impossible to think small. Visualization is another powerful tool for resetting your mindset. Your brain cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual experiences. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, overcoming challenges, and living your ideal life, your mind begins to align with that reality. Close your eyes daily and see yourself succeeding. Feel the emotions of accomplishment, the pride, the joy, and the satisfaction. The more real you make these visualizations, the more your subconscious will accept them as attainable, and your actions will naturally begin to reflect that belief. Gratitude is an often overlooked element of mindset transformation. People focus on what they lack, on what has gone wrong, or on the limitations they perceive. Gratitude shifts your focus to abundance, to possibilities, and to the positive elements in your life. Each morning and evening, take a moment to write down or speak out loud the things you are grateful for. The act of recognizing what is already good in your life rewires your brain to see opportunities instead of obstacles. It trains your mind to operate from a position of strength and possibility rather than fear and limitation. Mindset is not something you reset once and forget. It is a continual process, a daily practice, and a commitment to personal excellence. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every thought you nurture contributes to the state of your mind. Protect it, feed it with positivity, and challenge it to grow constantly. Habits like meditation, journaling, affirmations, visualization, and learning from failures are all tools that help maintain a powerful mindset. But the ultimate driver of transformation is your own commitment to think differently, act differently, and refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary. The people who achieve massive success are not fundamentally different from you. They simply made the decision to take control of their mindset and refuse to let circumstances dictate their lives. They understand that thoughts are powerful, that beliefs shape behavior, and that the quality of their life is a direct reflection of the quality of their thinking. When you reset your mindset, you are not just changing how you think, you are changing how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how your life unfolds. Every moment you spend believing limitations, excuses, or fears is a moment wasted. Every thought that tells you I can't is an opportunity lost. But every thought you cultivate that says I can, every action you take from a place of confidence and purpose, every habit you reinforce that aligns with your vision compounds over time to create extraordinary results. This is why resetting your mindset is not just important, it is critical. It is the first step in every journey of transformation, the spark that ignites every success and the foundation upon which all achievement is built. Clarity is the single most powerful tool you can develop if you want to achieve extraordinary success. Without clarity, you are like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly through life, reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. Most people fail not because they lack talent, resources, or opportunity, but because they lack clarity. They have vague desires, wishful thinking, or scattered ambitions, and as a result, their actions are inconsistent and ineffective. If you want to transform your life, you must first see clearly where you are, where you want to go, and what it will take to get there. The first step to achieving clarity is understanding yourself on a deeper level. Many people pursue goals that are dictated by others, expectations from family, societal norms, or what seems prestigious or impressive, rather than what truly aligns with their values and passions. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years? Be brutally honest. What makes you come alive? What brings you joy, fulfillment, and energy? What drives you to take action even when it is difficult? When your goals align with your authentic self, motivation becomes natural, perseverance becomes easier, and your results multiply. Once you understand what you truly want, the next step is to define it in specific, measurable, and actionable terms. Vague goals like I want to be successful or I want to get in shape are meaningless because they have no reference point, no target, and no way to measure progress. Instead, you must translate your desires into precise objectives. For example, instead of saying, I want to be wealthy, define what wealth means to you. Is it earning a certain income per month? Owning a particular asset? Being debt-free by a certain age? When you define your goals clearly, you provide your mind and your actions with a specific target, and suddenly achieving them becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Clarity also requires understanding your current reality. Too many people jump into action without assessing where they truly are. They make assumptions about their abilities, resources, and circumstances, and then they set themselves up for frustration and disappointment. Take the time to honestly evaluate your current situation. Where are you financially, physically, emotionally, and mentally? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What resources do you have at your disposal, and what gaps need to be filled? The clearer you are about your starting point, the more effectively you can plan your journey and the faster you can achieve meaningful results. Once you have clarity about where you are and where you want to go, the next step is goal setting with a purpose. Goals without purpose are like rockets without fuel. They look impressive but go nowhere. Purpose is the emotional engine that drives action. When you connect a goal to a deeper reason, something that truly matters to you, it becomes irresistible. Ask yourself, why do I want this goal? What will it give me? How will it change my life? Your why must be compelling enough to push you through obstacles, doubts, and setbacks. Without a strong why, motivation will fade and action will stall. An effective way to achieve clarity is through writing down your goals and breaking them into actionable steps. The simple act of writing activates your mind and solidifies your commitment. When you see your goals on paper, they become real, tangible, and measurable. But writing goals is not enough. You must break them down into smaller, actionable tasks that you can tackle daily, weekly, and monthly. Every step, no matter how small, builds momentum. Every action compounds over time, moving you closer to your ultimate objective. Prioritization is another key component of clarity. Most people have multiple goals, dreams, and obligations, but they fail to prioritize them effectively. Not all goals are equal in impact, and not all actions are equal in value. Focus on the goals that will have the greatest impact on your life and allocate your energy accordingly. The ability to say no to distractions, time wasters, and low-value activities is critical. When you prioritize effectively, you create leverage in your life, maximize your results, and avoid wasting time on things that do not matter. Clarity is also about envisioning the obstacles before they appear. Every meaningful goal comes with challenges, resistance, and setbacks. By anticipating potential roadblocks, you prepare yourself mentally and strategically to overcome them. Ask yourself, what obstacles might prevent me from reaching this goal? What skills, resources, or strategies will I need to overcome them? When you plan for challenges, you reduce fear, increase confidence, and improve your chances of success. Visualization is a powerful tool for reinforcing clarity. Your mind responds to vivid mental images as if they were reality. Take time every day to visualize yourself achieving your goals in as much detail as possible. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the emotions, and the satisfaction of accomplishing what you set out to do. The more real and vivid this picture, the more your mind begins to align your actions with that reality. Visualization is not wishful thinking. It is mental rehearsal that programs your brain for success. Clarity also requires tracking progress consistently. Most people set goals but fail to monitor their actions and results, which leads to stagnation and frustration. Regularly review your progress, celebrate small wins, and adjust your strategies if necessary. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Without it, you are blind to your mistakes, slow to adapt, and less likely to achieve your objectives. The ability to measure, evaluate, and course correct keeps you on track and ensures that your actions remain aligned with your ultimate vision. Mindset and clarity go hand in hand. The clearer you are about your goals, the more confident, focused, and empowered you become. Doubts fade, distractions diminish, and decision-making becomes faster and more effective. Clarity eliminates hesitation because you know exactly what you want and what it will take to get it. With clarity, uncertainty turns into purpose, and purpose transforms into action. Accountability further strengthens clarity. Share your goals with a mentor, coach, or trusted friend who can provide guidance, feedback, and support. Accountability creates external pressure to follow through, reinforces commitment, and accelerates results. The combination of clarity, accountability, and consistent action is a formula that virtually guarantees success. Finally, clarity is a continuous process, not a one-time event. Life changes, circumstances shift, and new opportunities arise. To maintain momentum and ensure you are always moving in the right direction, revisit your goals regularly, refine them, update them, and ensure they continue to reflect your values, priorities, and vision for your life. The ability to maintain clarity through change is what separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who drift aimlessly, reacting to life instead of designing it. When you achieve true clarity and set goals with precision, purpose, and strategy, Your actions become unstoppable. You no longer drift through life, you move with intention. You no longer react to circumstances, you create them. You no longer wonder if you are capable, you act with certainty because you have defined exactly what success looks like, why it matters, and how to achieve it. Clarity transforms dreams into reality, turning abstract ideas into concrete steps and ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They determine the quality of your health, your relationships, your career, and your financial success. Every decision you make, every action you repeat, and every behavior you allow to become routine either moves you closer to your goals or drifts you further away. Most people underestimate the power of habits, focusing instead on fleeting motivation or waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, motivation is temporary, inspiration is fleeting, but habits are permanent. They are the compound interest of your life, and mastering them is the key to creating extraordinary results. The first step in building powerful habits is understanding the impact of small, consistent actions. It is not the grand gestures, the sudden bursts of effort, or the rare moments of inspiration that create lasting success. It is the tiny choices you make every day, the decision to wake up early, the choice to read instead of scroll, the commitment to exercise, even when you don't feel like it, that compound over time to produce massive results. When you focus on building these small, positive actions into daily routines, you create unstoppable momentum. The key is consistency, not intensity. To build powerful habits, you must begin with clarity about the outcome you desire. Vague intentions produce weak habits. Saying, "I want to get fit" or "I want to be more productive" is not enough. You must define exactly what success looks like. How many hours per week will you exercise? What specific productivity practices will you implement? What daily routines will you follow to achieve your health, wealth, or personal goals? When your habits are linked directly to clear objectives, they become tools that serve your larger vision rather than empty actions. Next, focus on starting small and making it achievable. One of the biggest mistakes people make is attempting drastic changes all at once. They try to overhaul their life overnight, and when they inevitably fail, they quit. Transformation is not about radical change. It is about incremental improvement. If you want to create a habit of exercise, start with 10 minutes a day. If you want to read more, start with 10 pages a day. Small, achievable actions build confidence, establish momentum, and reduce resistance. As these small habits become ingrained, they naturally expand, creating a foundation for bigger transformations. The environment you create plays a critical role in habit formation. Your surroundings, the people you spend time with, and the cues in your environment either support or sabotage your habits. Most people struggle with consistency because their environment is misaligned with their goals. If you want to eat healthy, remove junk food from your kitchen. If you want to be productive, eliminate distractions and design a workspace that fosters focus. If you want to develop a reading habit, keep books visible and accessible. Your environment should make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. By shaping your surroundings, you shape your behavior. Another key to building powerful habits is tracking progress. What gets measured gets improved. When you track your habits, you create awareness, accountability, and motivation. Use a journal, an app, or a simple checklist to record your actions daily. Celebrate small wins and acknowledge progress no matter how minor it seems. The act of seeing consistent progress reinforces the habit, strengthens your commitment, and ignites the momentum that drives long-term change. Habits are also reinforced through emotion and identity. People stick to habits when they are emotionally connected to the outcome and when the habit aligns with their self-identity. Instead of focusing solely on the action, focus on how the habit makes you feel and who you become by practicing it. For example, exercising is not just about burning calories, it's about becoming someone who prioritizes health, strength, and energy. Reading daily is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about becoming a person who is informed, wise, and capable. When a habit becomes part of your identity, it is no longer a chore. It becomes an extension of who you are. Another critical strategy is habit stacking, which involves linking new habits to existing routines. Your brain craves patterns, and the easiest way to create a new habit is to attach it to an established one. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, commit to doing 10 push-ups immediately afterward. If you drink coffee every day, use that time to write down 3 things you are grateful for or review your goals. By stacking habits, you take advantage of existing neurological patterns and reduce resistance to new behaviors. Consistency in habits also requires discipline and accountability. Motivation fluctuates, energy levels vary, and life is unpredictable. Relying solely on willpower or fleeting inspiration is a recipe for failure. You must create systems of accountability that ensure the habit is practiced even when you don't feel like it. This could include sharing your goals with a friend, joining a community of like-minded individuals, or using apps and tools that track and remind you of your commitments. Accountability turns good intentions into consistent actions. Habits must also be flexible and adaptable. Life is dynamic, and circumstances change. If you encounter obstacles, do not abandon the habit, adjust it. Missing a day is not failure, it is a lesson in resilience and adaptation. True habit mastery is not perfection, it is persistence. The people who succeed in life are not those who never stumble, but those who rise, adapt, and continue moving forward regardless of setbacks. Another powerful principle is reward and reinforcement. Your brain responds to positive feedback, and rewarding yourself for sticking to a habit strengthens neural pathways that make the habit automatic. The reward does not need to be extravagant. It can be as simple as acknowledging your consistency, taking a moment to celebrate, or treating yourself to something meaningful. Reinforcement strengthens the connection between action and reward, making it easier for the habit to become ingrained over time. Habits are the bridge between goals and results. You can have the clearest vision and the most ambitious goals, but without the daily routines and practices that support them, they remain dreams. Building powerful habits turns intention into action, action into momentum, and momentum into results. The habits you develop today determine the trajectory of your future. They create the structure, discipline, and consistency that allow extraordinary achievement to occur. Finally, understand that habits compound. One small, positive action repeated consistently over time produces results far beyond what you might expect. Just as interest compounds in a bank account, habits compound in your life. Reading 10 pages a day might seem insignificant at first, but over a year, it results in hundreds of books read, ideas learned, and wisdom gained. Exercising 20 minutes a day might feel minor, but over time it transforms your body, energy, and health. The secret to extraordinary success is not massive effort once in a while. It is small, consistent habits repeated day after day, week after week, and year after year. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. You can have the clearest vision, the most detailed plan, and the strongest mindset. But without action, nothing changes. Most people fail not because they lack talent or resources, but because they fail to take massive, consistent action. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect motivation, and in that waiting, life passes them by. Massive action is not just doing more, it is doing what matters, relentlessly and with focus, even when it is uncomfortable or challenging. The first step in taking massive action is decisiveness. Indecision is the enemy of progress. Many people spend months, even years, analyzing, planning, and contemplating without ever moving forward. Every day you delay action, opportunities slip away, and your momentum fades. Decide today that you will act. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when it feels convenient. Decide that you will take bold, deliberate steps toward your goals and commit to doing so consistently. Decisiveness creates energy and propels you forward. Once a decision is made, the universe conspires to help you achieve it. Next, massive action requires clarity of purpose. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, your actions become more focused and effective. Purpose fuels persistence. Without it, action becomes aimless, inconsistent, and exhausting. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that will move me closest to my goal? Break your goals down into specific actions and focus on the tasks that produce the highest impact. Action without purpose is busy work. Action with purpose is power. Fear is the greatest obstacle to massive action. Most people hesitate because they are afraid of failure, rejection, criticism, or embarrassment. But fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It indicates that something important lies ahead, something that will stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Massive action is not fearless. It is acting in spite of fear. The moment you take action, while afraid, your confidence grows, your resilience strengthens, and your capacity for success expands. Fear is the fuel that ignites courage when harnessed correctly. Consistency is a cornerstone of massive action. One heroic effort is not enough. True transformation occurs when action is repeated day after day. Even when you don't feel motivated, inspired, or confident, your goals will test your patience and your discipline. There will be days when obstacles seem insurmountable and progress feels slow. This is exactly when you must act. Consistent, persistent action compounds over time and creates momentum that becomes unstoppable. The key is not perfection, it is perseverance. Planning is essential, but over-planning is a trap. Many people spend excessive time creating elaborate strategies while avoiding the discomfort of actual execution. Plans are useful, but results come from action. Take the first step, learn as you go, and adapt along the way. Feedback from action is far more valuable than hypothetical scenarios. The faster you act, the faster you learn, and the faster you improve. Action creates clarity, confidence, and results, while hesitation creates doubt, stagnation, and regret. Massive action requires eliminating distractions and excuses. Every time you justify inaction, you rob yourself of progress. Life is full of distractions, competing priorities, and endless opportunities to rationalize delay. Identify the things that pull your focus away from what truly matters and remove them. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect and start taking responsibility for creating your outcomes. The people who achieve extraordinary success are the ones who refuse to allow excuses to control their lives. Accountability magnifies the power of massive action. Share your goals with someone who will hold you responsible, whether it is a mentor, a coach, or a peer who challenges you to rise to your potential. Accountability ensures follow-through, reinforces discipline, and keeps you moving forward when self-motivation wanes. When someone else is invested in your progress, the stakes are higher and the likelihood of inaction decreases. Surround yourself with people who encourage action, demand excellence, and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Massive action also demands a willingness to experiment and fail. Too many people are afraid to take bold steps because they fear making mistakes. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Every failed attempt provides feedback, teaches lessons, and reveals new paths to success. The more action you take, the more opportunities you have to learn, adjust, and improve. Bold action often precedes breakthrough results. Without it, growth is slow, limited, and uncertain. Energy and focus are critical elements in taking massive action. To act boldly, you must bring intensity, clarity, and discipline to every step. This requires managing your physical, emotional, and mental state. Exercise, nutrition, sleep, and mental conditioning all influence your energy and capacity for action. The more energy you bring to your efforts, the greater your impact. Focus amplifies action. Avoid multitasking and scattershot effort. Instead, concentrate on the high-leverage actions that produce the greatest results. Time is your most valuable resource. Massive action recognizes that every day counts and that procrastination is the enemy of progress. Treat your time with respect and urgency. Prioritize tasks that move the needle. Eliminate low-value activities and dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to work toward your goals. Massive action is not about being busy. It is about being effective, intentional, and relentless in pursuit of your vision. Visualization and mental rehearsal enhance the effectiveness of massive action. Picture yourself completing each step, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your desired outcomes. When your mind is clear about the process and the result, your actions become more precise, confident, and aligned. Mental rehearsal prepares your brain and body to respond with focus, determination, and creativity when it is time to execute. Massive action is also fueled by passion and emotional intensity. When your goals excite you, when your purpose moves you emotionally, your energy multiplies. You act with urgency, persistence, and resilience because the desire to achieve is greater than the fear of difficulty. Passion transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary performance. It propels you forward when motivation wanes, obstacles appear, and the journey becomes challenging. Finally, massive action is a habit, not a one-time event. You must integrate action into your daily life as a non-negotiable standard. Treat each day as an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Take responsibility for the results you create, embrace discomfort, and act boldly, repeatedly, and consistently. Momentum is created through repeated, purposeful action. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the bolder your actions, and the bolder your actions, the faster your results accelerate. Massive action is the engine of transformation, the force that turns potential into reality, and the single most reliable predictor of success. Consistency is the secret that separates ordinary people from extraordinary achievers. Talent, intelligence, and opportunity may open doors, but without consistent effort, progress is fleeting and results are limited. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day, a week, or a month, and underestimate what they can achieve over time with steady, focused effort. Transformation is not a sudden event. It is the result of persistent, repeated actions that compound over days, weeks, and months. To create lasting change in your life, you must commit to consistency, because it is consistency that turns dreams into reality. The first step in embracing consistency is understanding its power. Every action you take, no matter how small, contributes to your future results. A single day of effort may seem insignificant, but repeated daily, it creates momentum that propels you forward. Your habits, behaviors, and choices accumulate like deposits in a bank account. One positive action may not make a visible difference today, but over time, these small actions compound into massive results. This is why showing up every day matters more than intensity or occasional bursts of effort. Consistency creates leverage, and leverage creates extraordinary outcomes. Consistency also builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. This self-trust is foundational for personal power, confidence, and resilience. People who lack consistency often doubt their own abilities because their actions are unpredictable. When you commit to consistency, your confidence grows because your results validate your dedication. The more consistent you are, the more you trust yourself, and the more capable you feel of taking on bigger challenges and achieving higher goals. Another crucial aspect of consistency is focus. Many people fail to achieve their goals because they scatter their energy across too many priorities. They try to do everything at once, but the result is mediocrity. Consistency requires you to identify what matters most and devote your energy, attention, and effort to that area without distraction. It requires eliminating tasks, habits, or activities that do not serve your highest priorities. Focus, consistent action amplifies results because it concentrates energy in one direction rather than dissipating it across multiple areas. Consistency also transforms behavior into habit. Repetition is the mother of habit, and habit is the foundation of lasting change. When you consistently act in alignment with your goals, these actions become automatic, requiring less effort and thought over time. A consistent routine eliminates decision fatigue, reduces resistance, and builds momentum. The more habitual your actions become, the easier it is to sustain progress, even when motivation is low or challenges arise. This is why consistency matters more than bursts of effort or occasional inspiration. Persistence is another element tied closely to consistency. Life will always present obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Those who achieve greatness are not immune to failure. They are simply consistent in their pursuit despite difficulties. Every obstacle is an opportunity to reinforce your commitment, refine your strategies, and grow stronger. Consistency in the face of adversity is what separates temporary results from permanent transformation. Each time you persist, you strengthen not only your skills, but also your character, resilience, and determination. Tracking progress is essential to maintaining consistency. Without measurement, it is difficult to know whether your actions are effective or if you are drifting off course. Regularly evaluate your efforts, assess results, and make necessary adjustments. Feedback ensures that your consistent actions remain aligned with your goals. When you monitor progress, you reinforce positive behaviors, identify gaps, and maintain accountability. Consistency is not mindless repetition. It is deliberate, focused effort guided by continuous improvement. Consistency also shapes your mindset over time. When you commit to showing up every day, regardless of challenges or distractions, you develop a mindset of discipline, responsibility, and self-mastery. Consistent effort trains your brain to expect results, instills confidence in your abilities, and eliminates self-doubt. Your thoughts, beliefs, and actions begin to align with your goals naturally, creating an internal environment that supports achievement. The mental shift that comes from consistency is often as powerful as the tangible results themselves. Emotional regulation is another key benefit of consistency. Life is unpredictable and emotions fluctuate. Motivation may be high one day and low the next. When you rely on consistency rather than fleeting feelings, you build a system that transcends temporary emotional states. You act not because you feel like it, but because you have committed to a standard of excellence. This discipline strengthens emotional resilience, reduces procrastination, and ensures progress even when circumstances are challenging or inspiration is lacking. Consistency compounds over time. A single day of effort may seem small, but repeated over weeks and months, it produces exponential results. This is the principle of compounding applied to personal development. Reading 10 pages a day might seem minor, but over a year, it amounts to thousands of pages of knowledge absorbed. Exercising 20 minutes a day may feel insignificant, yet over time it transforms your body, health, and energy. The same principle applies to any area of life: finance, relationships, skills, or personal growth. Small, consistent actions create extraordinary outcomes when maintained over time. Environment plays a critical role in fostering consistency. You are influenced by the people, habits, and culture around you. Surround yourself with individuals who value discipline, growth, and action. Minimize exposure to distractions, negativity, and excuses. Structure your environment to support your consistent efforts, whether it's organizing your workspace, scheduling dedicated time for your goals, or creating reminders and accountability systems. The right environment reduces resistance, reinforces positive behavior, and makes it easier to maintain momentum. Consistency also fosters credibility and influence. People trust those who are reliable, disciplined, and committed. Whether in business, relationships, or leadership, those who demonstrate consistency earn respect and inspire others. Your consistent actions create a ripple effect, encouraging others to raise their standards and adopt similar practices. Influence grows not from occasional achievements, but from persistent, dependable effort over time. One of the most overlooked aspects of consistency is patience. Many people give up because they expect immediate results. Transformation does not happen overnight. The results of consistent effort are often invisible at first, and it requires faith in the process to continue by maintaining your daily routines, following your systems, and trusting that your efforts are accumulating. You lay the foundation for long-term success. Patience, paired with consistency, is the formula for enduring achievement. Consistency builds mastery. By showing up repeatedly, practicing deliberately, and refining your actions over time, you become an expert in your field. Talent can only take you so far. Mastery is achieved through persistent effort and repeated practice. Every day you commit to consistency, you move closer to skill, confidence, and excellence. Over time, small, repeated actions lead to breakthroughs, innovations, and results that appear effortless to others, but are the product of unwavering discipline. Finally, consistency is transformative because it creates identity. When you consistently act in alignment with your goals, you begin to see yourself differently. You become someone who is disciplined, committed, and capable. Your actions reinforce your beliefs, your habits reinforce your identity, and your identity reinforces your actions. This cycle of consistency, identity, and action creates unstoppable momentum. The person you are becoming through consistent effort naturally achieves results, faces challenges with resilience, and pursues growth relentlessly.